Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's another episode of Let's Get Cinematic, episode 10. And this
Wow.
week, this week me and Jacob are going to be talking about Blood Harvest from 1987. We could I don't know, I guess Jason's like asleep or something. We couldn't get a hold of him. So, unfortunately, it'll probably just be the two of us this time.
It's all good. We got this.
So, without like spoiling anything, what did you think of this? Because I'm kind of curious about what you think of it.
Yeah, compared to like the other movies we've seen recently, since we've been kind of like on a slasher kick, like it's like mid tier. It's decent. It gets its point across and everything. It does some cool things, but for the most part, I think it kind of pales in comparison to like My Bloody Valentine or Silent Night, Bloody Night, and all those sorts of movies, that kind of do it better. But it is still a pretty good movie overall, I would
Yeah,
say.
I would say I'm pretty much on that same kind of level where like it's not amazing, it's like not great. It's like not even like great or anything, but it's like it's okay. Like it's not bad, but I think I gave it a 3 out of 5.
That sounds fair to me.
Yeah, I almost gave it a 2.5, but I ended up giving it a 3 because I feel like there is some good atmosphere in there. Like there is some good like little things here and there that kind of like make it kind of stand out a little bit. There's like a few things here and there. So I gave it a 3.
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel like that's what I would give it to. Honestly, yeah, without spoiling anything, like you said, yeah, the atmosphere, the soundtrack, it all just it meshed well, and just like the shots and everything, I feel like they did a good job with those. For without spoiling anything, but yeah,
I'm getting to a spot in this pin where like it's starting to run low, so it keeps getting clogged, so it's harder to get stuff out of it now cuz it's like this one's almost done.
yeah, probably yeah, just about out of juice.
I think I've been using this one for like 3 weeks already though. Because I was using this
Oh
one.
dang.
Yeah, I was using this one when we did Valentine, and I might have been using it before that too, actually.
Yeah, I was about to say I did recognize that the blue and pink.
But yeah, I guess we can get kind of like right into the just like actually talking about this. So yeah, I this really has like this feels like a small town. Like I felt like the familiarity because we live in like a really small area. It feels kind of like where we live.
Yeah,
It feels like that kind of town. So I feel like I connected to it on like a setting level for sure.
me too. Like I felt like everybody knew everybody, kind of like they do here. It's like
Yeah.
just had that little town vibe. It's not like too many buildings or anything. Not much out there. It's kind of almost out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you don't
Like especially yeah,
you
just
don't see much of the town in the movie, but like the little bit of that you do see, it looks like exactly like our town. Like the buildings look kind of the same.
literally.
But yeah, this
It,
was directed by Bill Rebane, and I think he only did like 12 movies, but a lot of his movies were like very much in this kind of small town style, from what I understand. I've only seen one of his movies. I don't think I've seen any of the other ones. Yeah, I'm looking
what was
at
the other one?
so like yeah, I'm looking at it now. He's only directed 12 movies. So he's done Blood Harvest. He did a movie called The Giant Spider Invasion in 1975. Um, oh wow. So he did Monster a Go Go. So what I remember, I've not seen Monster a Go Go, but I do own it, and I think Bill Rebane was the original director of Monster A Go-Go, but he couldn't finish the movie, and another director stepped in and finished it. Herschel Gordon Lewis finished the movie, and Herschel Gordon Lewis went uncredited because he didn't want to be responsible for directing Monster A Go-Go. I guess it was like in bad shape. So that one is supposed to be really terrible.
I was about
I've not seen it, but I do own it. I do own Monster A Go-Go. He also did...
to do an episode on it.
Maybe, yeah, eventually we might have to. He did The Demons of Ludlow, which I've never heard of. I've, like, not heard of that one at all. And he did that in
Me
80...
neither.
He did that in 83. He did something called The Alpha Incident in 1978. The Game in 1984. Twister's Revenge in 1988. Invasion from Inner Earth 1974. Rana, The Legend of Shadow Lake in 81. The Capture of Bigfoot in 1979. He did like a short film called Kidnap, Extortion, Robbery by Telephone. And he did another like short film called Dance Craze.
Ooh, fancy.
So it looks like most of his movies were the 70s. And he did like 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And I think Blood Harvest was his second to last movie, it looks like. So he only did like one more movie after Blood Harvest. That's what it looks like.
Okay. Yeah. Also, I think by then he had the whole small town feel down and everything. He nailed it in this one, that's for sure.
And it looks like he didn't really work on very many more things other than movies that he directed. It looks like he wrote a movie that came out in 2015 though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Dang.
it says it's called Rosemont, which I've never heard of it either. But I guess he wrote that and it came out in 2015. He was in a documentary in 2021 about his life, like about himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like after 1988, he only has a writing credit from 2015, and then he appeared in a documentary about himself in 2021. So kind of like after 88, he just disappeared for a long time.
Yeah, and then late 2000s, he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna come back now. And we're gonna talk about my life."
The movie he wrote could have been something he wrote a long time ago, even, and then somebody decided to make it years later. So I don't know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that would have been cool. That was the case.
But yeah, so I'm gonna look up the budget real quick because I'm honestly kind of curious.
Yeah. And with some of those effects and stuff, it looked like they had a decent budget, at least for those. Like, it looked really good.
Yeah, I like the look of the movie. So it was made in Wisconsin, by the way. So that would explain the kind of Midwest feel.
Yes, very
think
much so.
So I think like all of his movies were made in Wisconsin, I think. Yeah, I'm not really seeing the budget for this one. Yeah, weird. Like the budget's not like listed anywhere.
Hmm, that's interesting. Yeah, usually you can find that pretty easily.
But yeah, I guess so. I guess let's get into Blood Harvest though. Yeah, because I can't find the budget anywhere. I would assume it's probably a pretty low budget though.
Yeah, I would say so too. It looked decently low budget, but yeah, they did pretty good with it.
So for a lot of this movie, I don't know about you, but it feels like almost nothing happens for most of it. It feels pretty just like
Yeah, like I felt like there's just a lot of like I don't know. It seemed like they're trying to do like a lot of setup and I guess in like the character relationships and stuff. But like you said, I didn't really feel anything was happening because like it just felt like a lot of those parts were just a little too drawn out. When they could have conveyed what they were trying to convey with less time.
did you see
Yeah,
all of that smoke?
definitely. Yes, your freaking house is on fire. You need to go call 911. Get him over there.
That shocked me for a
God.
second seeing all of it in the camera like that.
Yeah, that's how it looks to Jason now. Where he's like, "Oh gosh," I love it.
But yeah,
Oh man, yeah,
I feel like they could have done like a little bit more at the screen time because it does feel like there's parts that are kind of wasted.
absolutely. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. Like, some of those sex scenes and stuff were a little drawn out, which obviously I think they're doing it for fan service,
Yeah,
But
I
still, it
think
was kind of like, okay, y'all are taking up airtime here. Come on.
I think Bill Rebane is known for having a lot of material like that in his movies. Like there's like I guess they're supposed to be like kind of sleazy, sort of like weird, like 70s and 80s, like kind of exploitation type stuff.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of exploitation in this. Gary is terrible. We'll just say that. Oh my gosh, that was disgusting.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
Ugh.
Did you? What did you like? What did you think about like the reveal of like the killer and stuff? Was it like super obvious to you, or like what were you thinking the whole time?
It changed a few times, which is what I like about one of the things I like about the movie is that it kind of like subverts your expectations because it like from the beginning it's like there's so many possibilities. It could have been anyone, and then from as the movie goes on, you kind of can like take people out to do deduct them, and then kind of come to the conclusion. I felt like Gary though was acting weird throughout the movie. I mean, the beginning he's literally in her house, like her parents' house with Merv. That was really strange. It's just like, okay, why are you here? And like,
Yeah,
why does she not act surprised about that?
yeah. I think for a lot of the movie, to me, it feels like like sometimes you think it could be Mervo, and then sometimes you think it could be Gary, because like most of the movie you don't really see the person doing the killings, so at first you just think it is like the clown Mervo. You think it's him for like most of it,
Yeah.
but then like later on when you see the killer with the pantyhose over his head, I'm like, that can't be Merv. Like to me it didn't look like him. I'm like, who is it then if it's not him? So like I think when you see that figure wearing the pantyhose is where you start to like think, oh, it can't be him.
Exactly. Like, I don't know why it was weird. At one point, I was like, "Wait, okay, is this the cop? Is the cop just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's the killer?" Just
Yeah,
it was just one of my little guesses there. But I was like, "There, I don't
they
know."
almost kind of spoil it for you in a way when you do see the figure wearing the pantyhose, because then at that point you know it can't be Merv.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, and then the other obvious one is Gary. But
Yeah,
with these movies, it's like they're trying to direct your attention somewhere else. I'm like, okay, there's no way they're not. It's not gonna be Gary. But it's like, oh no, it's Gary.
yeah,
Like I said, kind of spoiled it a little bit.
it's I don't know, like I kind of wish that the killer had been Merv. I really do. Like, I wish it had been like a killer clown movie because like the poster of the movie, it looks like it's a killer clown movie. You see Mervo's like smiling face on the cover, to where it looks like it's going to be a killer clown movie. And then, so I think I was a little disappointed watching it the first time when I was just like, oh.
Yeah, it's like you said in the promotional material and stuff, it showed us, it was a clown. So like, okay, it's gotta be Merv. And at one point I was thinking, okay, wait, maybe there's somebody else that's dressing up as a clown that's gonna come out of nowhere? Like, yeah, but like you said, it's like they really, I think, were like, okay, we're gonna really get him on this one, but it's just kind of like you said, it's kind of a little bit of a disappointment because actually I think it would have been a little more interesting was Merv.
Yeah, I think the reveal does kind of fall a little flat.
Yeah, like I feel like maybe instead of pantyhose, they could have gave him like they could have gave him an iconic look, kind of like Valentine and all that.
Yeah, it is kind of just a basic. He just puts pantyhose on his head and that's it. He's like wearing like a coat and then some pantyhose over his head.
Yeah, it's just like that's just I don't know. That was a little underwhelming. Yeah, they could have. Yeah, I don't know. And like you said, it's like it doesn't really conceal his face that much, really.
Yeah,
Like,
because in the
I mean, it
close-ups,
makes it kind of hard to like.
in
See,
the
but,
close-ups, you
yeah.
can really tell it's not Merv.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Like at that point, it's like, okay, yep, it's not Merv. Like you said, spoils it a little bit.
Yeah, because they show a couple of close-ups of his face before they completely reveal that it's Gary. They do show close-ups of his face, so you could like easily kind of tell it's Gary before they really wanted you to know it was Gary.
Oh, exactly. And then whenever Gary did his whole thing, after killing Scott, and then he picks Jill up and like doing all that bathtub stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, it's him. He's a freaking psychopath. He's sitting there saying, "It's okay, I love you," and he's just like taking advantage of that situation, just
Yeah,
knowing she's in shock. Like he
that
knew.
that part. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
the sexuality stuff in this is really creepy.
It is. Ugh! It made me shudder. I was like, "Oh gosh!" So I had to look away. I'm like, "No,
Yeah, yeah.
no,
The scene,
don't,
the
don't
scene,
do it.
the scene where
Don't."
the scene where he comes in with the like chloroform cloth, and and then he like takes her clothes off and starts taking pictures of her and stuff. Like that scene made me feel very uncomfortable the first time I watched this. I was like, "What's getting ready to happen here?" Like I was afraid it was
Yeah.
gonna be like a full blown like rape scene, like because it was headed into that territory, and I was like, I don't want to see this.
Absolutely not. Like I definitely thought I was going in a direction too. I was like, don't don't go there. Do not go there. Please. I mean, ugh, it was still just so disgusting. Like, really, man? Come on.
And then
Ugh.
another thing that I thought was weird about this movie was like there's a couple of moments of like comedy kind of just like thrown in randomly, and it's like it's weird. So the tone is a little weird because there's like it's kind of serious and stuff, and then every once in a while there's like a little like moment where it almost feels like it could be like a comedy almost.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. It's like unlike with Valentine, they had some good like little comedic moments, and it fit in the movie. Like you said, those were
Yeah.
just kind of like, okay, are you trying to be serious? You trying to be funny?
Yeah,
Like what's the vibe here?
I feel like in this movie the humor doesn't really fit the rest of the movie at all. It comes off as very
No,
odd.
not at all.
Like it's mostly I guess surrounding the sheriff is most of the kind of like comical stuff. Cause like,
Yeah.
he's like all upset that he's gonna have to cancel a softball game to like go and investigate her house. It's like that's your job. You're upset that you have to,
No. Like,
because it's a small town, and in small towns usually nothing happens. So that's why he's all upset. Like he's one of those people. He probably just wanted to be a sheriff in a small town because he knew he wouldn't have to do much. That's probably the only reason he signed up for the job.
Oh, literally, like he was just, oh my gosh, he's just such a jerk the whole time. She's like, he just didn't take a single thing seriously, even though literally people have been going missing and everything else. There's so many indicators, and all of a sudden, there's things going on with Jill, and then he's just like, "Oh, come on, you're gonna ruin my softball game. Oh no, I can't go to poker. Come on, man." It's just like,
the poker
dude,
part.
like,
The poker part made me actually like laugh out loud. Because he's sitting there like stacking the cards, and then he just like lets go of the cards, and he's like, "Well, there goes poker."
Yeah,
and he doesn't even sound like that. I don't know. I don't know
God.
why we were making like a voice like that.
Just because he just sounded like such just a dickhead.
Yeah,
like, that's just my voice for a dickhead. Like he is terrible.
and then like another kind of goofy moment is like the guys playing paintball. Like he when he drops her off, he's trying to like get a date with her, and he's like, "What about meaningless sex?"
Yeah, he just throws it out there like, "Yeah, how about this? Come on."
But she literally said
God.
she's engaged, and he goes, "What about meaningless sex?" After she just said she's engaged. Like,
Oh my gosh, this is just a random moment of sleaziness. Just the '80s, I guess, or that guy's, just his whole vibe with the sexual stuff. He just had to throw that in there.
yeah, I think I did hear a lot of Bill's movies are kind of like that, but I've not seen any of the other ones.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah, speaking of the paintball part, I thought that was kind of interesting, how they like did make it look like she got shot, and it looked legit.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
She get shot in the head? Like
right there.
That was really smart. Like,
yeah, that's one of the moments that I think really works in this movie, because it kind of subverts your expectations at first, because it looks like it could have been blood, and so you think, oh, what's going on now? Like what is this movie about then if they just killed the character we thought was going to be the main character this early on? But yeah, it just ended up being paintball.
Yeah, they're just like, oh shit, you shot her, and then she just gets up. I was like, oh okay, she's fine. It was just a paintball gun.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, I literally thought like that was the same color as the blood they've been using, and I was like, okay, yeah, our main character's dead. Okay.
But yeah, what did you think
Yeah,
of?
it worked really well though.
What did you think of like Tiny Tim in this movie?
He really, like, the singing, especially like in the beginning, really added to like the creepy atmosphere and really making you think that this clown was straight up crazy and he was a killer. Like,
I honestly,
he was great.
I think he's the best part of the movie, and I think without him, this movie would be kind of just meh. I think he's what adds the extra, like, even though he ends up not being the killer, I think he, like, I just can't see, like, anybody else doing it and this movie standing out in the way that it does.
Absolutely, I do. Yeah, like you said, I feel like he carried this movie with his performance. Like he took it to another level just by himself. Just with like, just this, the creepy vibe and just, using his voice, he just has that really unique, like kind of shrill voice that like really lends itself to just make him look just crazy.
I think the first time I ever like heard a Tiny Tim song was on SpongeBob.
I was gonna say that too. Yes. What was it? Frolicking Through the Tulips, I think. Something like that. I can't remember the song name.
Yeah, and there's like, I think there's like 2 or 3 different Tiny Tim songs played in SpongeBob. But yeah, I think I can't remember what the one was called. But I remember there's one. I think is it the episode where he feeds all the anchovies the Krabby Patties that they're playing it while he's. Is that it? I think that was the episode where they were playing.
Yes, that is it.
Yeah.
Yes, that was it because he was feeding the anchovies and then so
yeah. That's one of like the first episodes.
I think it. Yeah, one of the first at least. I don't know
Yeah,
if it was the
yeah.
first or not. It
I
might
think
have
it's
been,
season
but
one
yeah,
though. I think it's season one SpongeBob.
absolutely. That episode's made '99. Yep. So yeah, that's yeah. I do love how they added him in the movie though. He was perfect for the role.
I think I read that that was his first time acting or anything. Like was this movie like he had never been in a movie or anything. Like this was it. Like this was his first time. I need to look him up real quick to see if he was in anything else.
I'll say this is his first acting gig. He killed it.
Oh, he was in like 24 movies. I guess I didn't realize that.
Okay. Was this his first though, or was there something else first?
I think so. Yeah, as I'm looking through all of this, I think I mean there was like documentaries made about him in the 70s it looks like.
Okay.
And there's like some concert stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have to credit him for that.
Yeah, he's got like some on-screen credits, but it's mostly just like like live concert stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like his first like actual movie role was definitely this was a Blood Harvest.
Nice.
Yeah, because most of the
He
stuff is
did.
just
He did awesome.
most of the stuff is just like live stuff where he appeared as himself.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. He was in another movie first.
What is it?
I've never heard of it. It's called One Trick Pony, and it came out in 1980. But I don't think he was the lead or anything.
Yeah. Not like this. This is like a pretty major role.
Yeah,
Very major.
he was in a yeah. So Tiny Tim plays himself in One Trick Pony. So again, it's like
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
it's a narrative movie, but he played himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was his first like kind of. It might be his only like lead role actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like Blood Harvest is really like his only lead role. Everything else is like live appearances or like he just kind of has like a small little cameo in a couple of movies. So yeah, he really this was kind of it for like a big acting kind of moment.
Wow. I'm surprised this is the only one. I mean, he did awesome in this one. He could have played in some other stuff too. I don't know how big this movie was back then, but
Oh, so the
yeah.
on his like little bio page on Letterbox, it says his two biggest hits were "Tiptoe Through the Tulips," and then the one that played on SpongeBob was called "Living in the Sunlight, Loving in the Moonlight."
Yeah, yeah. I remember that now.
Yeah,
Yes.
so those are kind of the two songs he's most known for, and he died in '96.
Oh, dang.
So I think he was
Rest in
dead
peace.
before his SpongeBob episode, like the episodes featuring his songs were played on SpongeBob.
Dang, that sucks.
So that
Never
means
got to see that. That would have been
that means
cool.
he never got to see SpongeBob.
Man, who knows? Maybe in the afterlife they get to watch SpongeBob. Hopefully they did. He had to see that.
But yeah, so what do you have in like your notes? Do you have like any
Hmm.
like big talking points or anything?
For the most part, my notes I kind of put down like what I'm feeling and seeing in the moment. Trying to see because it's yeah I don't know. It kind of helps me gather my thoughts. Oh, the ending that kind of reminded me of My Bloody Valentine. They're kind of trying to set up for the
Mm.
sequel, and then you have like the little creepy laugh at the end. Even though it wasn't him doing the creepy laugh at the end, it still kind of had that similar vibe.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why I completely blanked on that. Yeah, the ending moment where he like kind of just opens his eyes is kind of like that was kind of like a cool little kind of like moment like ending. Even though I don't think he could have survived that gunshot though.
Nah, I bet they're just like, ah, look, he could have lived. Who knows? Like kind of making you think, oh, is he still out there? Kind of like Jason was saying
Yeah,
before with My Bloody
I
Valentine. Like, oh, is the
wonder
killer still out there?
I wonder if they were gonna try to sequelize this, like turn this into a franchise. Because honestly, I think it doesn't. I don't think it would work as a franchise. I feel like it is kind of just good as a standalone movie. I don't know if I would have wanted to see sequels or because I don't even know what they could have really done with sequels.
I don't know either. Like it would have to be like a rehash of the story, like you said, there's not much else they could really do with it. Like, yeah, I can't think of anything.
I don't even think there's really much of a story to this. Like this movie's kind of simple.
No. Very. Like I was kind of trying to do what Jason does, kind of try to find some like deeper themes and stuff, and I couldn't really find any except for like I guess, there's kind of like a theme of like possession and how taking it too far could drive you off the deep end. Like, I don't know. That's the only
Yeah,
thing I really gathered from it.
yeah. There's not a whole
That's really
lot
reaching.
even to this movie. It's kind of a simple movie because it's like basically she's coming to visit her parents. Her parents own the local bank, and a lot of farmers have been losing their farms, and so everybody blames the bank. So everybody's mad, and she gets home. Her parents aren't there, and I guess she learns from Gary that his parents were murdered, and um, I guess he's like talking about how the whole town's just upset that that the farms are being closed, and then from there it's mostly just her being scared and alone, and then like Gary and her friend both visit her at different points, and they both get like killed off, and then yeah, I mean there's not much to the movie. Like it there's some like there's the like creepy moments where they take pictures of her. It's mostly just her kind of alone being scared. I guess it's mostly about the atmosphere of being home alone and there's something outside.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to emulate that Halloween feel. But I feel like they kind of missed on it a little bit. I mean, there were moments where it's like, it's felt really thrilling and suspenseful, but like, yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of like, yeah, like you said, she's just sitting there being scared and stuff, and just stuff kind of happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much to it.
And I mean, I guess the moment where you find out that the parents actually killed themselves and then Gary staged it as a murder, I guess that was kind of like the other big moment really.
Yeah, yeah, the big, the reveal, even though you kind of suspect it by about that time, I would say, yeah,
Yeah.
like that was just the big reveal and stuff, and then you kind of realize, okay, Merv is finally vindicated. He was trying to help.
Yeah, I mean I feel bad that I really don't have much to say about it, but I really don't. Like I'm not sure what else to say other than like it's a decent like little sort of slasher movie. It's not even really a slasher movie. It's kind of a slasher movie, kind of not.
Yeah, yeah, because like I don't know, like I think in slashers, you kind of see the killer more, or I guess you see the killer more, and like
Well,
you don't really see the killer too much like towards the end. I
there's not
guess
much of a
like I don't
body
know.
count either. Like there's not much of like a most of the people that are already dead like before the movie really starts.
That is true. You are right. Yeah, because like yeah, slashers like you'll see like a ton of deaths. Like My Boy Valentine had a ton. Like it was like wasn't it like every 10 minutes or so there was a kill?
It felt like it almost. Yeah. I think there's parts where there's not kills for a while, but yeah, I feel like there's a lot of kills in
Yeah.
that one. I mean, like the
Absolutely.
original Halloween only has 4 or 5 kills, and I think this movie had like 4 or 5, but most of the deaths have already happened before the movie starts. I think like
Exactly.
the only deaths we really see are what like I guess her boyfriend and her friend. And do we see the sheriff get killed?
I don't think so. Or
I
yeah,
can't
I don't think
remember.
so. I know we see that person in the there's that person in the very beginning. They get killed. And then okay, was there a part where like I think Merv like went to this lady where I was sitting in a chair and like she was always scared and stuff. I don't know if somebody like Gary captured and like he was trying to help her. I don't know, but
That
I
was the
think she probably got
mom.
killed too.
That was the mom.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't know why I didn't catch that the
Yeah,
first time, but that does make sense.
Merv went up to the woman and said, "Do you want some food, Mrs. Robinson, or something like that?" And that was the main character. That
Yeah.
was the main character's last name was Robinson.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so they were
That
the
makes sense.
Robinson family. Because she said there were. Because I remember her friend said like
Okay.
her friend at one point said like the Robinson family's not very popular right now.
Oh, yeah. Gosh dang it.
So
I let that
yeah,
slip.
that means Gary killed her mom and dad. But you don't even like see them die.
Yeah, like yeah, I was about to say I didn't even show it, but yeah, I do remember like that the reveal or whatever. He's like saying, yeah, like Merv was saying, yeah, like Gary killed your parents, like he
Yeah,
did all this stuff, like he's terrible.
he killed his. He basically so yeah he killed her parents. He killed her boyfriend. He killed her friend, and maybe I think he killed the sheriff. But I honestly don't even remember.
Yeah,
We literally just watched the movie, and I already forgot whether he kills the like
me too.
it's kind of one of those movies where you can I don't know, like it's kind of forgettable, but it's not like a terrible movie either. Like it's okay.
Yeah, it's not super like yeah, not super memorable or anything.
I really think
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just not notable.
Tiny Tim is what makes it slightly memorable. Like he is the best part of this movie. He's the only part that really makes it
Literally, he
stand
carries
out.
it. Oh yeah, exactly.
I
Like
actually
this might have been one of the only reasons people might have seen it back then.
Yeah, I think that's why this movie's still remembered at all today. Is mostly because of him.
Definitely. So he was like, yeah, he was huge. So like, yeah, people were probably like, oh, I wonder what wonder what Tiny Tim's doing in this horror movie, dressed up as a clown.
Yeah, that might have
So he does all these little
drawn.
happy songs and stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, and I actually thought it was kind of nice that he actually lives at the end when we at first we think he's dead.
Yeah, because like I think he got shot in like the shoulder area or something.
Yeah,
Like might have been just it just went through like just muscle maybe.
but yeah, I just thought that was kind of nice that he does live at the end and he ends up not being the like killer. Even though I kind of would have almost rather have him been the killer the whole time, and I wish there was a little bit more of a body count and a little bit more of a plot.
Yep, they needed all those things honestly.
Yeah, I feel like if the killer was more iconic, more of a body count, and a little bit more of a story, I would have liked this quite a bit more. It felt like because it just feels like it's missing a couple of things.
Could have been. Yeah, exactly. Like if it had those things, it'd probably be like you said, a little more memorable. Maybe it could have been seen as a classic at some point. I don't know if it really is now. Probably not.
It's
But I
considered
mean,
a
it's
cult classic.
still like an okay movie. Oh, okay,
Yeah, people there is
that
fans
makes
of it.
sense.
Yeah, there's fans of it, but it's like a really small following, which is probably why Vinegar Syndrome
Yeah,
did like a limited edition run of it. Is because it is kind of a it's kind of like I don't know, it's something that people kind of just like.
yeah, really niche.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's mostly Bill Rebane
Yeah, kind of
fans.
like I think you. Yeah,
Because he does have
I
fans.
can
Because I
see
know
that.
some of his movies are kind of cult classics. And so most people probably dislike it is because it's made by him and Tiny Tim's in it.
Yeah, definitely. Those would be two big draws for people.
But yeah, I honestly don't have like much else to say about it. Like I feel like we've kind of said most of what we can say. That I think it's a movie people should watch. If you're like a fan of like horror movies or like cult classics or like low budget stuff, I feel like you should at least give it one watch.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely has the cult classic feel.
Yeah, because it's like it's basically I would say I guess to like kind of wrap things up, I would say it's like a decent movie.
Mhm. Same. Just okay.
But yeah, so I guess if you don't have anything else to say, we can like just kind of wrap this one up.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
okay, guys, thanks for watching. If you like the video, like hit the like button, hit subscribe, share it with others because we're trying to like kind of build like an audience with this podcast here. And yeah, so like every episode, we'll talk about a different movie. We had a couple of episodes planned. We kind of did this one last minute just because like a couple plans kind of fell through for today, but we'll do what we were gonna do this week. We'll probably do that next week now. But I might
Hmm.
actually be doing
Gotcha.
another episode, like recording another one tonight. And so if I do that, then that other episode will be 2 episodes from now.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess that's about it. So thanks everybody for watching, and definitely we're gonna do more episodes soon. So.
Hmm. Peace.